Thank you. Now this young lady standing behind me, beside me, for more than 25 years, we've been very active as Democratic district leaders and certainly in the town superintendent. But more than that, yesterday, which was February the 8th, we celebrated our 47th anniversary. We know family, community, and all the things that many of us collectively do here is important in service to our community. I'd like to be able to thank personally Arnaldo, Mayor Smith, certainly Mayor Booker, and those that you might have received the invite standing on the same rostrum as our good friend Darren Sharif. And certainly when we talk about the county, you can't have a better friend than our county. First of all, I'm very thankful and appreciative on your response to coming out, helping us really kick off this re-election cycle. And talking with Arnaldo back in November, and we talked about what was coming up in 2011. He told me that he was going to introduce me to Emily. And I didn't meet Emily before, and I asked him, what does Emily mean? He said, early money is like yeast. So I've come to find out that Emily is very important in this political process. But above all, being at the county as a freeholder certainly has been a rewarding experience and love and community service that not just myself, but my family and all of us have been involved in for so many years. At the county, and I've told our county exec, and I've shared this with our mayor, that if I had to be at the county at any other period, I wouldn't have chosen other than the period of coming on in 2002 when Joe D decided that he was going to go for the county exec. And certainly I was accepted from the leadership to represent District 2. And not just because we are friends, but because of what has been accomplished at the county in more than 8.5 years in terms of the things that we've done, whether it's been mental health, whether it's been corrections, whether it's been the parks. I'm just proud to be a part of a collective body of people who have worked with the county exec to make a lot of these things happen. And so many things are continually to happen that's coming before us that you probably have yet to hear of that's going to affect, our vocational schools. But actually, in this political process, I find that it's a simple thing that I try to reinforce, is that I don't take your support for granted. Personally, if you want people's support, you have to ask for it. And we do this in a number of ways, whether it's through the mail, whether it's through personal calls. Because it's one thing I come to understand, that politics, getting elected is one thing. Being prepared to govern is a different experience altogether. I am committed to continue to serve on the Freeholder Board and have touched all those necessary bases that I think that is important when it comes to party politics. Certainly starting with our chairman, Mr. Phil Thigpen, and certainly making sure that it's secure, that having the party line is important. And once that base was covered, I reached out to those districts that the District 2 represents. And I called the chairman, I've talked to Senator Ronald Rice, and I've talked to the South Ward of North. And District 2, that many of you don't know, represents all of Irvington, all of Maplewood, the South Ward of North, and parts of the West Ward. And in touching those bases, I found out that it's important and not taken because you've been in a place for a while that is for granted, because the reality that we have as elected officials, we have to come back to the people every 4 years. In this case, it's every 3 years. So not taking that for granted, it's like that old saying, get ready, get set, and certainly come June 7th, we're going to go with GOTV. have at least 3 generations here this evening. That represents my personal family from my generation to my son. And I have grandkids here, and I have a great-grandson. I call him the Karate Kid. Before I leave this podium, I'm going to introduce him, because he was a Barack Obama baby. You know, when Barack Obama won, we had him over here on Park Place, and we asked him to say Barack's name, and it surprised me how well he said it. And he's been involved through osmosis of learning what it is to serve people. But being here, mainly getting prepared to go forward with the re-election process, it is my pleasure and my honor, really, to be on the same podium with such distinguished servants of our community. I'd like to congratulate you personally for your appointment as the fire director of Newark. And certainly, who we refer to as Team Irvington, I was so happy to see many of you here, because